Of Omhango TV Extra. My name is Jolly Mugisha, the Deputy President of National Unity Platform in charge of Western Uganda. I want to talk about a few things that have been happening in Uganda, and that has attracted attention of many Ugandans because they directly affect the lives of ordinary Ugandans. Number one, Mr. Museveni recently came up with a long list of about 300 people whom he has appointed as assistant RDCs. You will recall, Ugandans, that currently in the RDC's office at the district level and at city level, there is somebody called holding the portfolio of RDC. Now, usually there is a deputy RDC, and that means there are two people already. Now, Mr. Museveni has come up with another list of adding in a third person, so that at every district and city level, there will be 3 people seated in the office of the RDC. From my experience and the time I have seen the operations of these RDCs, they are mostly engaged with security and security, and maybe mobilizing for Mr. Museveni, especially during the time of elections. But also they are mostly engaged in, harassing, people of divergent views from those of government. Those are the 3 basic roles I see them play across the country. It is surprising at this material time to see that Mr. Museveni, we know we are coming to 2026, but we still have this year, we still have 2025, and for him to have come up with an idea like this, and then when you look, I looked at some of the names on the list. I am going to use an example of somebody whom I know very well, 2 people actually. One person has been widely talked about because I think there was a time when he pulled his pants down, and then he had, he turned his back, naked behind on Ugandans, and that one has been appointed assistant RDC. Then there is another man I know very well, he comes from around. All he talks about is Muhozi MK project, now PLOE, like I hear people call it. So, and many others, of course, when you look at the list. My worry, like the rest of Ugandans, is what does this kind of gesture, let me call it a gesture, what does it mean for Ugandans? Because when an employer recruits human resource, they must first of all look at the nature of work. What are the nitty-gritties of the work that they want done, that they are looking for personnel for? And then they look at the skills, the relevant skills of the person they are going to recruit, who is going to be able to deliver, to bring output out of the work they are going to do. Now, I think in the case of Mr. Museveni and his assistant RDCs, what Uganda should begin to look at today is what are those men and women going to do, and what are the skills? What are the skills? What skills was he looking for? I am going to use an example of a gentleman I know very well from here, from Barara, Mr. Katwire. Now, Mr. Katwire has been a loud mouth for NRM. He talks about NRM, even when, of course, he belongs to the ruling clan, even by looking at him. But apart from that, he has been a loud mouth for the NRM. Now, recently, of course, when MK project came up, now PLE, he took it up and he has been even louder, talking even louder than he used to talk for NRM. Now, for him to have found himself on the list, now I understand he's in charge of one of the major cities in this country. Now, you wonder what kind of skill, what kind of expertise is he bringing in the office of the RCC or even of the RDC that Mr. Museveni and his government are looking for from him. You know, there was this other man who is widely talked about, who insulted the Kabaka. You know, somebody, a gentleman, he opened his trousers and turned his back and in Rinyankore kunamira eyakunamira with his, you know, that kind of language, body language. Now, if I may ask those people who talk to government, the current government, what kind of skill is such a person bringing on board that, you know, government is craving so much to an extent of having to recruit so many other people in the office of RDC, when we all very well know that these days government, you saw the traders, government has no money. We are told teachers don't get enough money. The doctors are striking, you know, here and there. The roads are not made. Just move down here and see. There are no roads. The schools are in a bad shape. You know, the normal, you know, poor livelihood of Ugandans. Fuel at the petrol station. Everything is in disarray because maybe money is not enough. Now, for somebody to come up with a list of 300 people, boom, and there they are, and you know, as people were calculating, their salaries will range from billions and billions of shillings. I mean, of what significance is their recruitment or their being in office of RDC is to the population of Uganda? I mean, what does an ordinary Ugandan benefit from the office of the RDC, apart from them grabbing their land and try to, you know, to hoodwink Ugandans here and there? Now they have added on a second, now a third one. So that one, I think Ugandans need to wake up and really see that they have been taken for a ride for too long. Yes. That one, even the blind can see. The blind can see. I think you can see really, because they may not even help government. Because one thing maybe we need to learn how to separate is the Mr. Museveni, the person of Mr. Museveni, his family, NRM, and then maybe in addition to the Nabanjas, these other people who are in the government. I think the purpose of these people, from my own understanding and interpretation, I think they are there to keep Mr. Museveni's grip on power, and if possible, give a smooth transfer of power to his son. Because look, he started the trick from the ministers. Baramu Barugahara, the one who was in charge of the PLE program, Lilian Abel, now minister. So you can, and many others, I see Kasoro and others, you know, all those people who have been shouting for his son to take over presidency are now being strategically put in positions. So what, unless we are blind, as we have always been, unless Ugandans are sleeping, and it's high time we got out of slumber. Because this one, even the blind can see, he's not only trying to entrench himself, but to see you know, how can he do it behind our back? We call it October. How can he do it when cunningly? How can he cunningly do it when Ugandans are not even aware? It's by putting his son's supporters in positions so that if the man wakes up one day and says, "Here I am, I'm taking over," then they are already, because all the other DCs will be in position. I pity the old ones who have been holding those offices. Maybe they could have been brought on board in terms of information, but you can see they are bringing in new blood. And history has it that the way people in NRM and Mr. Museveni's way of managing his things, he talks to each and every person individually. He can bypass an RDC and communicate with the assistant, leaving even the deputy. And you find there is a lot of connivance, you know, conniving between this one and this one. So Ugandans need to wake up and know what lies behind this kind of massive recruitment and what type of people he has put in place and why.
Can you talk about the other issue of police? Police
acts on orders of government. Police acts on the orders of Mr. Museveni and his supporters. And when Enanga came up and talked about people, you know, wearing army uniform, police uniform, I think every Ugandan knows the target group. For us at NUP, our foot soldiers, even myself, you can see me in a beret. This beret has been badly criticized, and some of our members are rotting in the cells. They have been in cells for years now, 3-4 years, for just wearing this beret. But I want to say that our uniform, the uniform our foot soldiers wear, is totally different from that of the police and that of the army. If you look at my beret, yes, it is red. Here it is red. But it has a people power logo. People power, our power. It doesn't have a police logo. Now, does it mean that if Uganda, I mean UPDF and the police have a cap or even a shirt, and I mean, have they monopolized each and everything? Our foot soldiers have a uniform, and we have this beret, which is different from that of the army and that of the police. They should leave us alone. Uganda is a democratic country, right? And we have a right to exercise our power and to exercise our rights and do as our party requires us to do, because it is a registered political party. Yes.
So have you said that Uganda is a democratic country?
That's what it is purportedly to be, democratic. Otherwise, why do they say we go and vote after 5 years? And if you read the constitution, the very first chapter says the power belongs to the people of Uganda, who shall use the power, you know, to elect leaders and so on. It is supposed to be democratic. Only that our democracy is being infringed on by the dictator, and he has, you know, tactfully done that, and many people don't see it. But here we are telling Ugandans that wake up and let us fight for the rights of our country.
Okay. Your last word is to Ugandans?
Ugandans, fellow Ugandans, it's high time. I think we have been in slumber for too long. Let us learn to read between lines. Let us get out of lamentation. You know, most Ugandans, especially the elite, they will tell you that, for me with politics, that's not my job. That's not my area of interest. But when it comes to suffering, we all suffer. Even those ones belonging to NRM, When we are on bad roads, when we are failing in hospitals, when our children are being served bad food and so on, all of them, I don't think they discriminate and say, now you NRM, you pass here, you who support Mr. Museveni, you eat this. No, we are all suffering as Ugandans. When you go to the fuel pump down, of course we all buy, except that maybe for them, they are given a concession which I'm not sure of, because I hear in some quarters that when you visit some homes, people have got concession. But the many out there, I'm calling upon them to wake up and learn how to fight for what is rightly theirs. Uganda belongs to all of us, dear Ugandans. Let us get up. Let us get up. You are the people who are paying tax. You are the people who are going to raise the money to pay the new 300 people. They are already, now the office, if they are, let's say they are 300 times 3, those are 900 people already in one office. Someone was arguing and saying that, hey, but now the leader of opposition, Joel Senyonyi, has an assistant, but he doesn't have an assistant in every district. Does he? No. Doesn't have an assistant in every district. So if nobody is denying Mr. Museveni to have as many, I don't know, supporters and advisors, but really, can he spare Ugandans from paying money in form of tax which does not deliver services to them, but instead goes to the pockets of his family and his relatives, and now he's adding on the noisemakers for his son? This is quite unfortunate, and Ugandans, please get up and say no.